All right, everybody, we're back with the weekly reader or whatever. We need a good name, but whatever. Until we get a good name, we are the name that we are, and we are here. Kenny, how are you, my friend? How's the week going?
Well, happy holidays to everyone and all who are watching. Got the Christmas tree up here. You see it's just shining and glimmering and stuff like that. Don't you want to make a wish or put something underneath my tree? Look, put
You know
something
what, Kenny?
underneath.
Yeah, we. You know what, Kenny? That's a good thing. I will say this. I will say this. I'm going to be making a very specific video about it. But I had my birthday brunch. Here in Atlanta, and I never ask for birthday gifts. I always say, please don't get me any gifts. In lieu of gifts, donate to my mom's foundation. The Deborah Kirk Foundation gives mini grants to single moms in my hometown of DeKalb, Mississippi, because my mother was a single mom and a teen mom. So if you're a single mom, teen mom, or to teen mom in general, anywhere between the ages of, from conception until being in college and out of like right out of college, you qualify, and you can apply for the grant whether you have any unmet bills or any unmet expenses, and we can fund up to $500, like a little bitty mini grant. And so this year I've raised more money for the foundation than I've ever raised. So we're going to be able to definitely continue the work of the foundation throughout next year. And we also give away a $1,000 scholarship in my niece's honor, who passed away the same year, right? Right after my mom died, my niece died tragically in a house fire. So, I'm happy. I love fulfilling wishes at Christmas time. So the foundation has enough money to even adopt a needy family this year. So we're hoping to do three families. There are three siblings. And so each one of us will hopefully be able to find a family to sponsor from the foundation. And so, Kenny, I love making wishes come true. So my wish is that everyone is able to have a great Christmas with the things that they have out there, but specifically the children. And I know you consider yourself to be one of the kids, but I don't know what I can give you. I will give you credit though and say that tree looks real good back there.
Well, I can't take credit because Danny did all this work. Okay,
Well,
I
he
look
did a damn good job.
and drank
I
cocoa and stuff.
I do a nice Christmas. I decorate my home because my family comes here for Christmas every year, and so I have I have two young nephews and a young niece, 7, and then 5. The twins, boys and girls, they're both 5. So I do the decorations and go all out for them. But I don't decorate a thing. I pay for someone to decorate it, and so my friend who decorates for me is out of town. So I hate that she can't have it up, but I think she said she'll get to it Sunday, but I feel like that's just not enough days to enjoy the damn holiday. I need more. I need to get the full expense for the whole damn Christmas package. But we'll see. So I'm glad that you're having, Kenny, some great times. So how long is Danny going to actually be there with you?
Child, we'll see.
We'll see. Okay, so wait. We will see.
That's all I'm gonna say. We'll see.
Is it possible? Has Danny moved to DC?
Y'all trying to get all up in my tea, but I'm just gonna tell y'all, we'll see.
Well, I need you and Danny to move to Atlanta. I need you and Danny to have and enjoy your Thanksgiving together, have your Christmas together. But I need you guys, one, to mark the date for January 12th. That's going to be the MLK weekend and my next event. So I hope that you guys will be there. And then we can help you look for an apartment right here in the city. Also, so yeah, we can make that happen. How you doing, Isaiah? So listen, so we go right into Kenny, your conversation. Kenny is a national treasure with lots of pull and lots of connections. And Kenny, you had the opportunity to engage with the one and the only Cardi B. Okay, Cardi B. And in your dialogue with Cardi, I'm trying to find the right thing here. Cardi B actually went out and made some strong allegations on a live regarding the budget of New York City, regarding schools. And you took it upon yourself, Kenny, to jump out there and you reached out to the one and the only Cardi B and incurred the wrath of the Barty gang. Kenny, tell us about it.
Look, I don't ever hold, people accountable for what their stands do. So Cardi B was gracious to me. She was never disrespectful or anything like that. And I respect her even taking the opportunity to even respond or even willing to even listen to anything that I said. I do accept the fact that she did acknowledge that I did have a few points, even though she may not necessarily agree. But hopefully we'll have the opportunity, since you said maybe at a later time she's willing to actually have a conversation. And I've extended that invitation whenever she wants to talk about politics and talk about, what we can do going forward leading into 2024 election, and what's truly on the line and what Democrats have actually done and what the Biden Harris administration has been able to accomplish, and why the people haven't been able to see all the progress that we've made in the last 3 years.
And Kenny,
So,
I mean, everything you just said was a mouthful, and everything you just said needs to be explored. So,
mhm.
number one, the root cause, like, number one, there is a lot of disinformation out there, and there's a whole lot of people who just simply don't understand how American government works. So, when you say that, like, how are we going to educate more people around what should have occurred in the fundamentals of secondary education? Because civics was a part of we had a course called civics in ninth grade. A lot of that has changed. I know a lot of states have adjusted, but honestly, what are we going to do to educate more Americans about how government works?
Well, it starts from, first of all, civics starts from home. I even though I had a civics class, whatever, they didn't teach me half the stuff I know now. And I think it's by design to make us not understand how our government works in order for us to utilize our vote and vote strategically that's going to suit our better interests. So I think that's how it's been set up in public schools, because a lot of people, they barely give you the bare minimum. First of all, you know a little bit about how, the government started, but come on, how does this equate to what's happening today? And that's what needs to happen. We need to be able to break it down to our everyday lives. A lot of people don't necessarily, well, so a lot of people don't know that half the things that they get are actually coming from the government, whether it be from their local level or whether that money came from the federal. Who's supplying the money? How's the money getting there? Who's in charge of distributing that money? Who's in charge of actually creating the budget for that money? So
Now, I'm
those
going to
are a lot of
say,
things.
yeah.
No, go ahead.
Well, no, I was just thinking like it took me off guard, but even from the clips I saw the live, that Cardi B, who I'm a fan of Cardi B. I love Cardi B, but I was just shocked that she would have heat for, or smoke, as they say in the streets, for Joe Biden, but not for Eric Adams in the first. But all of it was just really weird to me. I didn't understand it. I didn't understand it. So when you look at what she said and kind of what you would say to her, Kenny, like, what would you say to her? Like, what would be the foundational pieces that you would share with her about what President Biden and his administration has done to improve the lives of Black people in this country?
I think I kind of hit on a few points of my video. It's doing wonderful on Twitter, but TikTok, they suppressing me. But I would go over the points since she was talking about New York. I'll pretty much talk about all the money that's been allocated to New York. I mean, billions of dollars have been given by the Biden administration, and Kathy Hochul just put it on her website, November 8th, by the way. Um, of how much money and billions of dollars Biden has given them for infrastructure. So when she's talking about it's rat infested and this, that, and the other, and the trains are dirty, New York is dirty, and they have bad transportation. I'm going to talk about all the money that Biden already given to the states, but it's technically up to your governor and your mayor to figure out how they're going to distribute that and how you're going to see it. Now, the subway station and the buses and all this stuff isn't going to be fixed overnight. Y'all got a hell of a lot of infrastructure that needs to be built, and a lot of things need to be regutted and redone. But all those things are not going to happen overnight. And that has to be the reality of the matter. But to blame Joe Biden for what's happening on your state level is not it. And Cardi B, I'm gonna say this, she is not somebody who's ignorant or mostly misinformed when it comes to politics, because Cardi B has shined a light on a lot of things beforehand. I just think that right now we're living in a state where a lot of people are angry, a lot of people are frustrated, and
And
sometimes
they're
the
wanting
frustration is
to attack
misplaced.
and deflect and come after somebody. What they want, everybody wants somebody to blame in
But
their
it
anger and in this
also,
moment.
there's a lot of like people who are trying to play on a lot of people's intelligence and trying to put the battery in a lot of people's back and say, hey, inflation's bad and it's an American problem and it's not happening globally. And this is Joe Biden's fault, even though I also provided evidence that, the UK got 4 times the inflation we do. You know, we're one of the lowest when it comes to inflation out of the G7 nations. I'm so confused on how America is doing so bad, but yet we're doing so much better than every other country. But yet, Joe Biden is the reason why we're having inflation globally.
Reset. But right, because none of that's accurate. You have people who are running wild on social media, and what's really dangerous is how mainstream news media, or legacy news media is what I call it, how legacy news outlets are picking up on things that they see on Twitter or on X, on the Malcolm X app, and they're running with it. We saw that this weekend where the Washington Post did breaking news over President Biden's negotiation of a humanitarian pause in Gaza that really hadn't been brokered yet. It hadn't been truly approved. And it isn't really happening yet, but they ran with it because they saw it probably on social media. Like that is all of that is very concerning, and it's hinting at bigger problems. And I agree, both Isaiah and Midnight Sun highlighted the fact that there's a big concern around privatization of schools. Midnight Sun, I am a 17-year veteran of public education. I no longer work in public education. I was in education, public education. I was numerous awards for being an educator, numerous recognitions. I was on the district level. I was a district level administrator when I left my position dealing with curriculum and instruction. And I have 2 degrees, one being terminal in educational leadership. So this is a topic that's really, really passionate to me and I care a lot about. And I do believe that the American public educational system is under attack. And it's under attack because too many Americans, in the eyes of some, have the opportunity to open doors for themselves because of what education has given to them. There are, I believe, sincerely, a group of people in this country that own a lot of the means and ways of production, who want to maintain and keep at all times a working class, or what I like to call wage slaves, people who are dependent on minimum wage to survive, that have to work the menial jobs and take whatever they're given for their basic livelihood. And these people are determined, in my opinion, to ensure that public education is never of quality in this country. And they're constantly looking for ways to make it so. And it's really concerning to me. And I think that once you lose free public education that is of high quality, you lose opportunity and access for anyone in America to be able to achieve the American dream. And I think that's the ultimate goal that some people have in mind, because their children are going to be okay. Their children are always going to be able to afford the private school and the other options. That's what it is. So what they're saying to people who can't afford it is that let's give you a voucher so you can afford it. And all they're going to do is slowly over time increase the price more and more and more. And then you go back to the same system of subpar private schools, high performing private schools, but no public schools. So the poorest of the poor are the ones who are wiped out and forced into a life that lacks opportunity. That's what they want. And that's really concerning to me. And we have to fight against it at all costs. If you read through Project 2025, all of this is implied within the framework that they have set out. And that's what makes this current moment for me so concerning, so scary. So when you look at things like this, when you look at the fact that the recent polling from MSNBC comes out, and President Biden is now trailing Trump. All of that is very, very concerning. And so, right, yeah, you get, yeah, you say you get it. And Isaiah came back and added to this, and we as Democrats and progressives have to stand firm against this school choice. Last cycle, Georgia Dems nominated the school choice candidate for state school superintendent, which was a mess. That's true, but the state Democratic Party has to field better candidates in the front end so that person would not be the candidate. And that's not what they got. I don't ever have a problem saying that I voted for Richard Woods in the last election, the Republican nominee for state school superintendent, who was a public school educator, who has hired an amazing team at the Department of Education. Many of them people I've worked with, who I know are only doing the work for the children, who aren't in it for any political agenda. That is what you need, principled leadership like that. So I have no problems telling the whole world I voted for a Republican in 2022 on the 2022 ballot, and his name was Richard Woods. Just like I cast my vote for Stacey with pride, just like I cast my vote for whoever the lieutenant governor candidate for Democratic, I forgot her name, pride. Sarah, I think it was Sarah Briggs Amico. I proudly cast a vote for Richard Woods. So, and had no problem doing it. Kenny, what do you think about this? Is Joe Biden in trouble? I'm telling you, I gave you some credit. I think, were you here last week? I don't think you were on. You weren't on the actual live. I think it was me and Brian. And on that live, I think I said I have to give you credit and give your boo credit. Boo Bear Jamie, and I said that Boo Bear Jamie.
I was in the last live.
Oh, okay, where I gave credit to Boo Bear Jamie. I gave a whole lot of, I give him a hard time. I give Big Daddy a hard time. Give you a hard time, Big Daddy. But the reality is you are winning, and you have won. You pushed things through. We had a winning year in 2022. We won these little ballots in 2023, and we're hoping that you can bring us on home in 2024. But I am concerned at the turn that we now have, and I'm wondering, is there anything that can be done on a national level to counter the negativity that has now infiltrated social media because of the Israel-Hamas war?
Well, first, it's called courage. Okay, half these people right now, we need more political pundits willing to stand up and say what's right rather than doing what's popular. And that's what I'm starting to notice. A lot of people are falling for what's popular on social media versus actually doing the real work and doing what's right. We know what's at stake. And we know that this one little global issue, this one foreign issue that apparently has made everybody's one issue trump everything else that's on the line. Literally, I don't necessarily know what the goal here is. I'm seeing a lot of people literally too scared to speak up when they know something is incorrect because they're scared of the backlash online, or scared of the criticism, or scared of the attacks, or possibly going after somebody's livelihood. I'm seeing Islamophobic remarks. I'm seeing anti-Semitic remarks. I'm seeing too much going on and too much misinformation. A lot of people just talking because they got licks. But what Joe Biden can do to turn the tide is look for his true allies who are really ride or die, who are really trying to help him get reelected, and use them, utilize their platform, give them the microphone, send them out, have them be spokespersons, allow people, political pundits, not just allow people, at least people who are actually using their platform and who know what they're talking about, to combat these political pundits. Try to get them on MSNBC. Right. Hell, I would love that.
Yeah.
I would love
we
to
need
talk
Simone
to
Sanders to put, Morning Joe ain't the platform. Morning Joe ain't the platform. Morning Joe is not.
I have some things to say to Joe. That Joe.
Well, we all have some things to say to that. We all have some things to say to that, Joe and Mika. But I want to see you on Simone Sanders. I want to see you on Jen Psaki. I would love to see you on the Readout. I think that those would be some great places to have your.
I don't know how I would feel about going on the Readout. Joy's been rubbing me wrong. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna say this, and I want to be very clear. I don't care that she follows me.
So tell me what Joy with what recently?
Like
what has she done?
It's just like, okay, so a lot of people are calling for the ceasefire. We've had this conversation. I'm gonna go on record about this because I also did a video about it. Now, as far as the ceasefire goes, I don't see anybody talking about, okay, what are we doing about the hostages? Because how the hell do we have a ceasefire when one side keeps saying that October 7th is going to happen again and again and again, and we're going to continue to bomb and bomb and bomb and bomb, but yet they want Congress, and they're standing outside Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries' house saying, hey, you need to do this, that, and the other and get a ceasefire when he is not the Speaker of the House. He is the Minority Leader, meaning Republicans. Mike Johnson is in control of Congress right now. Why are we protesting solely Democrats? And my question is, when y'all are calling on these Congress people to call on a ceasefire, I read Cori Bush's resolution. It is literally having Congress call on Joe Biden to then call on Netanyahu to do a ceasefire, meaning we calling other people to do other things because we do not control another sovereign nation. What can the U.S. Congress do about another nation? How is Joe Biden president of Israel? So when I sit here and I look at Joy Reid, she knows this. But yet she keeps saying that Joe needs to do something about calling for a ceasefire. He can call for a ceasefire, just like I can call for days off. Don't mean I'm going to get them. Because Netanyahu can say no.
You
He
can't,
Biden
you
is
know, Kenny, you're
not the
right. I
president
don't
of
agree.
Israel.
I don't agree with anyone telling Joe Biden that he should call for a ceasefire because no one has the intelligence that Joe Biden has. Number one, when you look at why, and I think that Benjamin Netanyahu is one of the worst world leaders in the world who's in current power. He is the Donald Trump of the Middle East. Well,
Ditto.
yeah, right. I mean, it just is what it is. But here's the reality: there was a ceasefire already in place. People don't want to talk. That no one's ever talking about the fact there was a ceasefire between the Palestinians or Gaza or Hamas. No, there was a ceasefire between Hamas and
The Israeli government.
Israel in May. Okay, Hamas violated the ceasefire on October 7th. So why would we have another ceasefire that Hamas is going to continuously violate? In that ceasefire, the Israeli government says that they were not as vigilant in their protections or as vigilant in their patrols or as vigilant in their security because it was a ceasefire. They thought that progress was being made, and that opened the door to 1,200 people being slaughtered and the 200 people being kidnapped. That is the opposite response of why is there a ceasefire. In addition to that, I have not heard Hamas say that they agreed to any kind of a ceasefire. I have heard the videos that and the rhetoric saying some of the opposite, that they're not going to stop, that they're going to continue their onslaught against Israel until they are free from the rivers of the sea. That's what I've heard. So I don't necessarily think I can agree with like President Biden, calling a ceasefire because again, I don't know what intelligence information he has about what's happening there and what their plans are to continue to happen. I also don't know how close the Israeli military is to actually find the hostages. I'm looking at them and the work they're doing at the hospital, and I'm thinking maybe they're getting closer. Maybe they are getting more information that is leading them to being able to liberate the people that have been abducted. So, I don't agree with that. So I think Joy Reid is doing what, for her viewers, and she's following the crowd. And it's easy to do that. It's hard to stand up to that crowd when that crowd is your community and say, guys, you're not right about this. You're wrong. It's hard, but I think that's what good principled people and good principled leaders, are called to do.
But I think right now what I'm seeing is an influx of people turning their, let's see, they are turning their allyship or they're turning, I don't know what's going on, but a lot of people are they're radicalizing this movement to where it's getting out of control. Like it's one thing to uplift and support the Palestinian people, and I'm all for that. But then there's a difference between harassing people who are truly your allies, trying to force people to say something or draw a line in the sand, or it just in general. Okay, let's just look at this little Starbucks thing. There's been so much
Oh, here's a good
misinformation.
question. We got a good question. I got Starbucks next. Hold that just for just a moment. Wanya Allen said, but he's also funding correct. That's a beautiful question. Listen, Wanya, the United States of America has always funded Israel. It's not like they're funding Israel because of the war. It's not like they're funding Israel at a higher rate because that wasn't approved to do so. The United States has always given Israel, what is it called,
And
Kenny?
military aid.
Military aid. They've always done that from the beginning of Israel's existence. But guess what? This is not the only country that we're giving aid to. We're even giving aid to Uganda, to Uganda, who wants to unalive people because of their homosexual status and lifestyle. But that is what America does. We are a national force. We're an international force in this world. But I want to make sure you understand and know this. Not only are we funding Israel, but we're also funding Palestine. The United States government has also given large amounts of aid to the Palestinian people for decades. But up until 2018, when President Donald J. It may have been 2017 when President Donald Trump immediately stopped that. That was reducing the budget. He took that out of the budget, and we did not give any aid to Palestine since Donald Trump took it out. President Biden tried to reinstitute that aid and increase it from 1 million to 3 million in a humanitarian efforts to help the people of Gaza. But the Republican House took that out of their bill and gutted it and said they would only fund fund Israel in this new bill, but that did not pass the Senate. So currently, no funding is happening. I just want to make sure people know the full story, because a lot of people are saying we are funding this, we're funding the genocide. We've always given money to Israel, not to fund a genocide, but for the protection of the Israeli people. But we have also given money to the Palestinian people as well. We've done that for decades. I don't know if Obama was our first president to do that. He may have been, but I know that Donald Trump stopped it.
Well, no, Clinton was giving money, and Bush was also giving money to Israel as well before then. But
not Israel, to Palestine, to Gaza.
Oh no, to Gaza. I can't even speak on that. I'm not necessarily sure.
I know for a fact that President Obama definitely gave money. I know for a fact that Trump stopped the money, and I know for a fact that Biden tried to once again give money.
Look, I just read that comment, but look, here's my situation when it comes to that. I love that everybody is galvanized and speaking up for the marginalized. I love that. However, yelling, screaming, marching, and then claiming you're not going to vote is not going to help the Palestinian people, because Republicans have already gone on record saying that they want to bomb the hell out of Gaza. They want Israel to end it quickly and fastly and swiftly and take over that land. So if you're talking about colonization right now, oh child, when Republicans get in office, y'all are going to see an onslaught of slaughter of the innocent civilians in Palestine. So,
and I believe, and that's where I do believe that is a number one concern, right? I do believe that. I don't trust Benjamin Netanyahu. I think he's a horrible president, a horrible person in general. I have no doubt that his agenda is nefarious, but I also believe that President Biden is the only person who can thwart that agenda. That President Biden is the only person who can stop the settlements from continuing, the only person who can guarantee a free Palestine. And to see people not understand that and recognize that is really, because it makes me mad. Kenny, I agree with you 100%. We're going to go and talk about Starbucks, because you brought that up. That's a good point. The people who are boycotting Starbucks, because I wanted to do some research. I wanted to see some stuff. Before we go to that, Siobhan said the administration has provided $61.4 billion in aid from Ukraine, $14.3 billion for Israel, $9.15 billion for humanitarian aid, and $7.4 billion. Excuse me, Siobhan, for Taiwan. Thank you so much for sharing that, and that's great information to have. And again, the Indo-Pacific region and a 13.6 to address security at the U.S.-Mexico border. So these are the numbers. This isn't new what's happening because of now, and people don't either understand that or they're choosing to be selective in the facts that they're choosing to share on social media.
Well, before we skip and talk about money, because the main thing is they talk about money, 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 money. Where is my money? Why Joe Biden ain't sent me no check yet? At least Trump sent out stimmies. Well, first of all, let's talk about what Biden did when he first got in office. Now, Biden proposed the Build Back Better plan, which was going to give and expand Medicaid, expand the child tax credit for those who are dealing with children. It was also going to give us free dental, vision, paid family leave, et cetera, which was a total cost of $1.7 trillion. That was a bill that was proposed by the Biden administration when they first ran for office, and Congress was able to get it passed. However, when it reached the Senate, all Republicans, not one, not two, all Republicans voted against it, along with Joe Manchin. Along with Joe Manchin, meaning we did not have the numbers in the Senate in order to get it passed. Now, for some odd reason, we're going to hold the whole Democratic Party and Joe Biden accountable for the fact that they were actually trying to help us out during a pandemic to make it easier for us, because that child tax credit, I bet y'all need it now. Joe and Democrats were trying to deliver. They were going to try to deliver to the American people something substantive that you could use, especially during the pandemic and during rise of inflation. But it was Republicans that stood in the way. But yet we're going to hold Democrats accountable for the fact that we did not show up and give them a supermajority in the Senate in order to pass the bill. But because we didn't do anything, because we could march to the screen but won't march to the polls. We're not going to have it because
we're going to be at a standstill until at least 2026. That's the best we can hope for.
But here's the thing that
Democrats are going to lose the Senate. We're going to lose the Senate. We're not going to keep it. It's impossible. It's done. We've lost the Senate. We're going to win the House for sure. We're going to lose the Senate, and we might lose the White House. But even if we can hold on to the White House and we keep the House, we're going to have the House of Representatives. We're going to lose. We're losing the Senate, and so we're going to be in the same boat again in 2024 until 2026. But then we could possibly get control again of the Senate. And then we could have the final 2 years of the Biden administration be as strong as the first 2 years of the Biden administration. And maybe then the American people will appreciate it. But
the problem with the American people
lot.
is the thing that doesn't make any sense about the American people that just frustrate the hell out of me is the fact that you can go and leave your state, get a hotel room, drive 10, 3, 4 hours to go protest, stand outside the DNC, stand outside the White House and protest, but you couldn't make it to your precinct and vote. You could march, but you won't march to the polls. You spent money out your pocket, but voting is free.
You know, was it 40 million registered Democrats didn't vote in 2016? I think that it was a ridiculously high number of voters who didn't turn out. I saw a statistic somewhere just this week. But the reality is, you know, we're looking at, you know, it's going to come back to the same thing. And I'm like, at what point will the Democrats have to change strategy? And that's kind of what I'm thinking about. Like, if there's any chance of democracy being saved, it's going to have to come on the backs of Black people, according to social media, because on the backs of white people, because on social media, Gen Z and Black people say they are not voting. And so I'm like, well, we need to court a whole new demographic or really double down on a different approach, because if they're not going to vote, they're not going to vote. I'm not going to beg them, but they're not going to vote. We need to find out another way forward. Kenny, the Starbucks boycott. People are saying that they're boycotting Starbucks and McDonald's. So I want you to tell me, do you think this has been effective? Because I did some research. I got the answer.
I did some research on the Starbucks part. I don't know about McDonald's, so you're going to have to spill the tea with that.
Well, is it effective?
I don't know. Shit, I'm still going to Starbucks.
No.
But here's the thing.
Now wait, hold up. I don't go to Starbucks. You still go to Chick-fil-A. I don't go to Starbucks. I haven't gone to Starbucks since they kicked Black men out in Philadelphia. So I think I have had 2 Starbucks since then. At first I said I'm going to boycott for a year. And then every time I've had it since, it's twice since, and I feel guilty and I end up saying.
But that's that location though. That's that location.
No, I've had that. I mean, true. Kenny, you're right. I'm a boycotter. I'm ready to fight. I'm always, look, people out there, I'm a Scorpio with a lot of Sagittarius placements. So you can, again, I am an oil, fire, on water. So I'm always ready to pop the fuck off. Like, I'm ready to go. So I'm down to boycott. If you say boycott, let's boycott.
But here's the thing about the Starbucks situation. I go to Starbucks almost every day. They know me by name, and ain't nothing but Black folks working behind the counter.
So you're telling me you're the liberal Christian Walker?
Oh, hell no. Starbucks, look, I told you I go to Starbucks literally every day. Everybody who works behind the counter looks like me, speaks like me, treats me with dignity. But my whole thing is this whole Starbucks situation is all started off of a lie. Now, the original content creator, which I wound up finding it, I think his name was Khalil Ray Jr., I do believe, or Roy Jr., something like that. He's a content creator with nearly 450,000 followers, and he said something to the effect that Starbucks is suing, or Starbucks supports Israel or something like that, something of that effect. When indeed, what basically happened is, what happened is a union under Starbucks wind up using their social media account saying that Starbucks supports Palestine. And Starbucks said, we are not trying to get involved in the Israel-Hamas war. We do not support no damn body. So we're trying to sue you because you're saying in the name of our company that we support something that we are trying to stay out of. They said they don't want to be in it. And then people started sitting here thinking that they support Israel when that's not the case. They said they don't want to be in it.
Starbucks people have ran wild with it on TikTok, and now it's become a trend. But here's the reality. Starbucks share price is up nearly 13% over last month. So it has increased by 13% over the last month. So in November, it's up 13% over October. And McDonald's stock, meanwhile, is up 8%. over the last month. So we don't know what this will do in the future, but as of right now, these companies are not being negatively impacted by the boycott. Again, I'm all for the boycott because Starbucks treats their workers poorly, but I think to think that this is having a massive impact, it isn't. And that's, I think, unfortunate. Yeah, I agree with you, right, Isaiah? Same reason how they treat their workers. And Siobhan, send Brian some shout him out, hype him up. People are being ridiculous on social media about this Starbucks, which was nothing but a call to say you can't bully people who are doing what you want them to do.
You can.
And so as a result, so he is dead. He has taken a mental health break to just say, screw social media. I'm taking a break because it's really ridiculous. And again, you put the laughing emoji. I also say, Brian, it's funny. Laugh at it. It's not a big deal because these people are Looney Tunes to maintain the appropriate language on social media.
But can we talk about Brian real quick? Because the thing that I find so ironic, interesting enough, they'll sit here and all he said is you can't tell somebody what to do, what to buy, what to consume, what to spend their money on, especially when you ain't paying none of their bills. Until you put some groceries in somebody's refrigerator, you can't tell them what to do until you pay a light bill. However, interesting enough, they'll get upset with us when we encourage people to vote and say, you can't make me vote for Joe Biden or genocide Joe. You can't make me vote. Ain't nobody, and I've been saying this, ain't nobody trying to force you to do anything you do not want to do. If you do not want to vote for Joe, if you don't want to support Joe, if you don't want to support Democrats, that is your business. However, I am going to continue. No, I don't do it. But however, I'm going to continue to use my platform here to encourage others who care, who actually give a damn, to try to save democracy. Just like you're trying to encourage others, since you say you care about this boycott for Starbucks, you're trying to encourage others to boycott with you. And for those who say, nah, that ain't for me, you have to respect other people's decisions.
It's okay.
When do you feel that you are the dictator over somebody else's life? Who are you? Who the hell do these people think that they are?
But here's the thing. Most of the people are bots. Most of the people, and it's a flood of bots from Russia, China, God knows where. And they're activated to attack because the argument that's being made that you have the right to think for yourself around this issue is in opposition to what Russia wants the American people to be concerned about, specifically Black people in America. They know the power of Black people over the culture. They saw it through Black Lives Matter, and they're capitalizing on it. We have always been the target. We were the target in 2015, 2016, and now we're the bigger target now. And so anytime an influential voice in the Black community and brown communities is going in the opposite direction, the bots are activated, and then people pick up on the social cues, don't understand the bots, and they run with what's trending and what's popular and the popular take. And I think that's kind of what's happening and what Brian's been caught into. And again, some of the comments, the homophobic comments, the ignorant comments, the race baiting comments, it is very disappointing, and I'm very angry. Like, you have no idea, because I want to make lots of comment and lots of content and just go the fuck off, but I'm not, because Brian said don't fan the flames.
But my whole thing is they didn't even want to stand with Monique in solidarity to boycott Netflix. They couldn't help themselves because they were too busy watching Orange is the New Black. But they was pro-Black. So I'm so confused. People sitting here talking about they was going to boycott H&M. I'm in Maryland. Ain't nothing but Black folks up here. That little baby was wearing a monkey suit, and y'all still went to go shop at H&M. Y'all never stopped. So all of this fake woke and fake activism talking about I care, I'm pro this, pro that. But interesting enough, when you sit here and you see somebody who does something or say something that you don't like, but you are an ally.
It's maybe 50 people.
But no, even with certain content creators, because I'll sit here and watch as they'll sit here and say that I am an ally, I'm pro-LGBT, but as soon as you do something that they don't like, as soon as you have a disagreement, you get called all types of N-words, all types of homophobic slurs, but yet you have a rainbow flag. You got your pronouns in your bio. You got a Palestinian flag. You got BLM in your bio. But yet as soon as somebody says something you don't like, all of a sudden, your tolerance goes out the window because they didn't do what you wanted them to do. But my whole thing is you do not control what other people do. This is America, Jack. And we have every right to do what the hell we want to do while we're here. It's called the First fucking Amendment. If you got a problem with with the Constitution, bitch, you gonna have to change it.
I think, you know, this is actually going to be a good experience for Brian. It will be. It's going to be a good experience because number one, this is, you know, he's only growing his account and he's only gaining followers. Like I've been looking at the metrics, he's gaining followers from this. He's not losing followers, and he's done nothing wrong. So it's not a controversial thing just because he's made an opinion that the majority of activated entities, I wouldn't call them people, entities on social media aren't going to agree with. And again, you have to have, you know, I think it's important sometimes to define yourself, define your brand. In the moment, in this current moment in American history of the Israel-Hamas war, when people are demanding that you take a side that is the Free Palestine or pro-Israel, there are principled people out here who understand that the situation is nuanced and who wants to see a two-state solution, as does Joe Biden, our government, who want to see a free Palestine that has an autonomous state and it has the right to rule themselves where they want to, whether that's democracy or whatever they want. They have the right as people to create and determine their own governmental entities. But in the same way that there's a small number of us who want that, we also want a safe and secure Israel that begins with the nation of Israel having the right to protect itself in an area that may be hostile to it, as well as having all of the hostages returned and having full, true military peace exist in the region. All of that has to happen in order for the two-state solution to work. And some of us realize that. And it doesn't matter if people want to ignore one side of it and people want to, you know, glorify, you know, certain groups of people who do certain things that may be abhorrible on both sides. It doesn't matter. You have to stand up for right. And I firmly believe that history in the long run will bear us out to be the morally correct people. And we did the right thing in this moment. And
Because
Brian's
the
doing
whole
the right
thing,
thing.
look, all I know is I think that not picking a side is fine. I'm picking the side of I want a safe America because this is where I live. This is what I know that's on the line for me. And I know not voting honestly will
The
make
only
things
person, Kenny,
harder.
who's kind of said that with you, I'm so thankful that Dara Star Tucker is speaking because that's ultimately what she is saying is that, like, that same thing. You and her are saying the exact same thing. And I think I wish more content creators were saying that publicly, that
They're
you want to
scared.
free,
They're
you want to
scared
save
because
America.
no, they're scared. They're scared that they're going to lose their following. They're scared. But what's the purpose of being an influencer if you're too scared of your own audience?
They are going to lose their following. They're going to lose their following because
They're going to
TikTok is
lose
going to be banned.
they are going to lose their following. They're going to lose
Like,
their
let's just
check.
call a thing a thing. We are now moving towards true bipartisan support for the TikTok ban. And there were a number of creators from all generations and all age groups fighting in the last ban. I was opposed to a TikTok ban because of the impact that it would have on the American creator economy. A number of creators are making substantive income from TikTok who could not make that same amount of money on any other social media platform and who probably wouldn't be creating content on any other platform. And I don't want to see people lose that money. Not only would it impact the creator economy, it would also impact the seller economy because there's lots of people who are selling things that they do, their crafts, their creations, their creative projects and passion projects on their on TikTok, and they would lose that income. So I don't want to see them lose that. But now I can't say I feel the same way because I'm literally seeing the certain types of posts get boosted. I think they're being heated, as TikTok calls it. And I'm questioning this. I'm questioning it. I know I'm not going to make posts fighting for TikTok moving forward. And I'm seeing way more Democratic voices agreeing that it needs to be banned.
But we already know with that whole Hamas. Oh, no.
Take a break. Pop a damn edible and press on, child. Pop a damn edible and press on.
Brian, I hope you feel better, bro. Look, this is the
thing. Get the opposite of an edible, but in the same family. And
let me tell you what I did when I was. Let me tell you what I did when I was on fire. Let me tell you what you do. You get your good stiff drink. You get you a good stiff drink. You look at all the hating ass comments and you laugh. These people don't know you. They ain't never gonna meet you a day in your life. And my question is, who were you? And who
They
are
live
you?
in Russia.
And
They're
why you
bots.
bothering me? And you know what? At the end of the day, they're obsessed. You are their new obsession. Because at night they thinking about you. Every day, you know, more hate that you get every day, it's good for the skin. It's moisturizing. It
Now
really is.
I do believe that, yeah, people do think about Brian. People be in the inbox. People in the inbox. So, Kitty, do you think that you think they're gonna have TikTok ban? What do you think? What
It's
I
gonna
think that
happen.
is going, I think that we have 2 years. I think there's 2 years max of shelf life left on that app. And I think then it's going to be, I don't think it's going to continue. But then on the
If
other
Trump
end of it,
gets
I'm afraid that once they ban it, what are they going to then do with the information? I had a fake account created this weekend of someone impersonating me and literally DMing my like actual mutuals.
you still have
And
access to your
when I think
analytics,
about
but
it,
your videos are gone.
who?
I think you'll still have access to your analytics,
No,
but I
I'm
think
saying, what if it is all a Russian issue? I mean, a Chinese issue, and they have all our personal information that they have farmed. What I mean, I'm just saying, think about where that could go, because somebody created a fake page of mine. What if that was TikTok creating a fake page about me? Because TikTok won't take the page down. TikTok won't address it. Like they said, it wasn't in violation of the community guidelines that somebody was impersonating me online, like even emailing my friends like they were me.
mhm.
So it's not. They said it was a community. So, but then, when I think about it, TikTok has my social security number because I'm a paid creator on that platform. TikTok has my driver's license front and back.
Mhm.
TikTok has my address. So any kind of leak would put all of my information out there publicly, and it's too late now because they have it. I'm just saying, this could be. We don't know where this could ultimately end up, and I think after a ban, it could be even worse retaliation from this entity, possibly, if that
Possibly.
is any of that is true.
Possibly, but here's my thing. TikTok, y'all TikToking, okay, y'all on the clock. Okay, hickory dickory dock, because it is almost over. My whole thing with TikTok is with that whole letters to America and the
That was the
excuses,
end.
that's the end of it. With the
That was the
excuses
damn
that people
end.
made, as far as
Now the
agreeing
lady
with
who
Osama bin
created
Laden,
that, her account got banned though, right? She was the first one. I think someone posted that
there's a
they banned her
few.
account.
I don't necessarily know if she was the first, but I know a few accounts got banned and they're completely removed. My video got flagged, even though I was warning people that y'all are going to lose this app if y'all keep spreading more misinformation. This is the end of it. I keep warning people that TikTok, you about to lose your livelihood if y'all keep on. Y'all gonna be right back to 9 to 5.
No, they're gonna, yeah, they
I
are
hope
gonna
you
lose
got a
it. I
good
don't see how. I
resume.
don't see it lasts.
But here's the thing
And I
that's
hope that
crazy.
what you've done on social media over the last 3 years isn't something that's not going that you won't be able to walk away from, because some people have said some things they can't take back. Some
Oh
people have
yeah.
said some, and because you know how I feel about social media. You know the lines I'm willing to cross and not cross. Because you tell me all the time, if I would talk to people on social media the way I talk in my real life, I would be mega viral, but I will also be mega fired because I
You ain't
curse.
lying. You ain't
I'm
lying.
talented and skilled. I'm talented and skilled at language. I know how to use the words. I know how to use the words. I know how to read, and I know how to shade, and I know how to put some good sentences together. But I'm not gonna do it for the enjoyment of this audience, because I got bills to pay.
I mean, I go for that. I still got a job, but I don't
No,
do anything
Kenny.
that's extreme. I think the difference is I see
Yeah, you don't do
content
anything
creators have
extreme.
gone to the extreme to where I'm seeing anti-Semitic, Islamophobic, a
Well,
lot
and
of
you're
stuff
also
that just,
cursing for a purpose. You're cursing for a purpose. You're cursing for democracy. I don't curse online on TikTok at all. I don't use any of that language just because. But again, but also, my job is a little bit more corporate than your job. The eyes are always watching. They're
hmm
always watching, and I'm gonna always be careful, because if I don't have this job, then I'm not gonna probably won't have a job that's comfortable. And the older you get, the harder it gets. That's another reality of the world we live in. The older you get and the higher you climb the ladder, the harder it is to transition if you fall off that ladder. And I'm trying to hang on with dear life.
Well, I'm praying for those content creators who were using their page responsibly, not spreading misinformation or hate or division. Um,
Understand?
I'm praying for them because I don't want to see nobody. I don't want to see some of my favorite content creators working at Dunkin' Donuts. But I will ask for that butter pecan latte
Wait, you said working where?
at Dunkin' Donuts because that's where they're gonna end up.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say at McDonald's because you ain't gonna be at McDonald's because they got
I
all the
said,
machines now, which I love.
I said
I love the
Dunkin'.
machines.
Look,
I stopped eating at McDonald's a long time ago, and not for any reason other than the fact that it was not good. But I went to McDonald's recently, and they had the because it was the only I traveled for work around Georgia, and I was in a very rural. There's nothing there to eat like in Georgia, and I'm driving my car all around. I'm like, is there anything I could possibly eat? I'm starving. So at 2 o'clock, haven't had any breakfast or lunch. I found a McDonald's, and they had a machine in the McDonald's where you could put the order in the machine, and it goes directly, and you can customize it. And I get my fries with no salt. I get my burgers with added stuff to it, and it was perfectly fresh and delicious.
god dang.
And I'm like, that's the secret, because if you customize it, it won't be sitting out on the tray, and it was actually very, very good. So, but then I'm realizing there were only two people working in the back, like two people working in the McDonald's, two in the front, like working back, like one person in the front, like then one person cooking the food, and one person driving, three people total. And I'm like, they have less workers. They're employing these machines are making it where they have less workers working, and those workers are working.
Yeah, but
So I'm
AI
just
is about to put a lot of people out of business. People don't understand
mhm.
that AI is going to be the problem. It's not immigrants. And I
No,
don't know
it's going to
why.
be AI. But they were worried about the wrong thing, and they allowed that to be a wedge issue when looking at the fact of how do we transition the workforce to still existing in a different light, and that hadn't happened. So Isaiah said updates on Cop City. The update is being built. The Cop City, some of the supporters of Cop City have become increasingly more militant, and they tried to burn down some equipment last week, which I absolutely denounce. I think it's a horrible idea. I actually had a very enlightening conversation on Thursday of last week. I was invited on for my fifth secret job that I do as a food reviewer, or fifth secret thing in the world. I was invited to this really intense panel around the Atlanta food scene. And so I'm on the panel, and after the panel, these two ladies come to me and they were like, I just love you, but I hate you, is what they said. I love you so much, but I hate you so much. And I was like, what do you mean? She said, we follow both of your accounts. They follow both my TikToks. And they said, your food review stuff makes me love you, but your other political stuff makes me hate you. And I'm like, well, what is it? You like Trump? And they were like, no, but I'm really mad at you about Cop City. And I said, well, I'm so glad you said that. I want to talk about it. And so we talked about, number one, I don't care about trees. I don't give a damn about the trees. I'm not the Lorax sitting here protecting the trees. I don't fall in that camp. I'm also not someone who really believes that it's going to be like such a bad thing to have Cop City built. I don't think it's bad to have a Cop City. Our police do need a training facility, but we don't need to be the biggest training facility in the world when we're not the biggest city in the world. And I explained that to these ladies. I then explained my biggest issue is the fact that they're building Cop City in an all-Black neighborhood again. Over the course of history, Black communities have been burdened with public service needs, whatever you want to call it. But all they're really doing is making a portion of town where Black people own land and property no longer viable for business, commerce, and economic growth and development. You're destroying the future of these people for generations to come, and you're doing it. You've always done it. That's the American way. That's my biggest problem with Cop City. Build Cop City where they want Cop City. Build that shit in Buckhead. Don't build Cop City in South Atlanta. When Buckhead has extra space, you give them parks. South Atlanta has extra space, you give them Cop City. That's the issue. And I explained that to these two ladies, and they were like, I agree 100%. They're like, wow, I'm so glad you explained that. And then they were like, one of the ladies is like, I'm a police sergeant. She's a police sergeant. She's like, well, the top
Oh,
ranking police officer. She's like, I can't believe, she was like, of all the things I've heard said about this, of all the people that have talked about this, no one has ever made me say, I agree with you about why we may not need to have Cop City there. It was a good moment. and I gave her a big hug. I mean, she was a beautiful woman. She was a beautiful woman. Both of them. They were a little bit older than me, but they were just stunning women. And I was really thankful to have that conversation. So that's the update, Isaiah. Cop City is being built right now, and it's proceeding forward.
But I think the thing is, when it comes to the opposition of Cop City and why you don't want it, people need to have you need people like you putting out the message that's connecting the dots so people can understand why this is a bad thing. A lot of people just saying cops bad. That's not enough. That's not doing enough. That's not the
That's
message.
not
Cops
enough.
bad. We don't want cops. You're like, okay, ban, what is it? Defund the police, this stuff like that. That doesn't get your message
It has to,
across.
yeah.
But you have to
But
give them
that's
the
the problem is that
reason.
people aren't taking the time to explain through the issues and have those conversations. And we need more of that. That's we need more of that. So,
Hmm.
Kenny, one thing I also want to say today is Trans Day of Remembrance. It is Trans Day of Remembrance, and so we acknowledge and remember all the lives that have been lost to violence against men and women that would be trans throughout the course of the year. I have some statistics.
Mm.
We have had at least 33 beloved transgender and gender non-conforming people killed violently since November 20th of 2022. Since 2013, 335 people that we know of have been killed uh, in the trans community. 62% of these victims have been Black trans women, with roughly 7 to 10 of them being the victims of gun violence. In the last 12 months alone, approximately 70% of all of the fatalities of trans Americans have resulted from murder. So we remember them on this day.
Seems like we got so much more work to do. And the sad thing about it is the fact that everybody who says that they're not going to vote, we won't have any real protections put in place to help a lot of these people when we keep talking about trans
Project
lives matter.
2025 says that trans existence it
Will be
should be
banned.
immediately erased. It's you can't even discuss it. There
Illegal.
will be, but but even further than that, I see. Not only have I seen trans people on TikTok saying don't vote for Joe Biden. I swear to God, I've seen it. I've seen quite a few gay people say it, and the popularity of PrEP and prophylaxis and other things to avoid certain STDs are high among certain communities. And these Republicans want to immediately stop that funding in healthcare. So only if you can afford it out of your pocket would you get those medications, would you get that support, would you get that healthcare. People are sitting here willing to cut off their whole entire heads, not their nose to spite their face. They're willing to cut off their whole entire face without even realizing when they're saying we're not going to vote for President Biden. But on the other end of it, I'm not begging them to do shit. I'm not asking anybody to vote for Joe Biden. I want you to vote your voice, your vote. You vote your heart. You do what you want to do for you. All I have to do is do what I feel is compelled to do. And I'm voting for Joe no matter what. I feel as though it's my responsibility to educate them, but I'm not begging them. They know what's at stake. And
Hmm.
if they don't want to vote, fuck them. Vote, don't vote. Let's see where you end up in 4 years. I know where I'll be in 4 years. I'm looking at alternatives. I'm looking at options. I'm ready for Panama, Costa Rica, or Canada. I'm happy. Toronto. Those are my three options. I'm researching those three. Those are my three options, and I
Look, I
have
have
the and I
been.
have the currently I have the means to do that. I have the means to do that. But there's so many Americans who can't, and that's heartbreaking. But these are the things that they will have to grapple with by their choices.
Look, I'm already grappling with the choices of others because I don't have a choice in the matter. I do not have the means to leave. So I have been looking at the mortuaries and picking out a good little baby blue casket, honey. I'm about to have Miss Morstein do the baked beans for my repast. Child, we about to have y'all about to have a good old time at my wake. Child, let me tell you, I'm gonna have a sharp suit, honey. Baby blue is gonna be matching the casket with praying hands, and I want y'all to sing. What do I want them to sing? Guide me, oh thou great Jehovah. Just take me on home. Take me on home to Jehovah, because I'm in his arms. because I ain't got nowhere else to go. Child, it is what it is. I'm going to glory. I am. I'm gonna die.
Kidding. Oh my God. Oh my God. Stop. Listen. Number one, even though I do not care about the trees, I am going to be cremated. Like I think my whole family, we've all made the commitment to get cremated. We're all going to be cremated because, we're doing it. My niece, passed away in a house fire. And so we're gonna all do it in honor of her for like the rest of our lives. Like we'll all be cremated in the same, way. But even beyond that, Kenny, you're gonna do better for the earth if you did get cremated. Which I'm not saying I care
I
about
know.
that.
No, look, I already told you I originally wanted to be cremated, but I feel like because
Yeah,
people
but
care so
you
much
gonna get
about
your
Israel and
Kenny.
Palestine
Why is
so
the
much,
casket? Why is it blue? Why is the casket? Is it Democrat? You gonna have it Democrat blue?
it is democratic. It's in the remembrance of this boy did try to tell y'all asses to vote democratically. And the thing is, in my tombstone, I want them to edge in I told you so. But because everybody, they're so obsessed with the whole Israel and Palestine thing, the reason why I said, I don't even want to be cremated no more, go ahead and get me a casket because none of this shit gonna be here anyway. They gonna be bombing over here, watch. It's gonna be a civil war. It is going to be Israel versus Palestine in America if these people fuck around and find out.
Let them have it. They're not gonna fight back. Let me tell you something. The black people who are saying they're not gonna vote are gonna then say, "We told you voting didn't make no difference. Y'all voted. Look at what happened." They're gonna constantly put the narrative. It's gonna always be a flip. It's gonna be what it is. We are living through so many failures of the American people by letting Trump get in office right now. We just saw the further repeal of the Voting Rights Act and provisions that allow for the equal protection of people based on race in voting considerations. We just saw it fall again today. More of it. It's an ongoing onslaught, all because of Trump appointees to the Supreme Court and Trump appointees to the judicial benches that we have in this country. So I just, and who's talking about it? Who knows about it? Most people don't. They're going to always flip it and ignore the pure facts to shape the narrative around whatever dumb ass shit they want to believe at that moment. So 2024 is a defining moment. It's going to be a defining moment for this country. And I'm going to give it all I've got leading up to it. I'm going to fight with I'm literally giving it all I've got. I'm literally planning to have monthly events in Atlanta for candidates to get up on a stage and talk to people that are Black, brown, and gay. Like I'm planning it out. First one starting January 12th. I'm doing all I can with my own money and my own resources to make it to do my part. So if we lose, it will not be a loss that we went down fighting because we didn't educate people, and they can take what they want. They can do what they want to do with the education that they're given.
Look, I'm just telling y'all right now, based on it, depending on how these election results go, and if they're successful with Project 25, I'm telling y'all, I'm about to charge up that damn credit card. I'm going on trips. I'm gonna have a time, honey, because I ain't got nowhere to go. I just say fuck it.
I didn't know I can't go to another country if I'm a certain age. Oh
Child,
my
what you
God.
mean? Which country?
You can't, oh my God. Midnight Sun said I can't take my old ass to certain countries if I can't work and get you to that country. But what if I can just live there? Like, because I have the money, I buy my place and I just sit up and live off my little retirement. Damn it.
I don't know. I'm telling y'all right now, I ain't got nowhere to go. I don't have the resources to leave. So I'm going to charge up this credit card, live my life, be happy.
You and Danny can come live with us in Costa Rica or Panama. We will have we'll have space. We'll have space. We could be like one big commune. Okay. We could be like, do you know about melanation? The melanation
No.
and nature. You do know about melanation. You don't know you know about melanation. Melanation was like the nature boy cult that like was here in Atlanta, and they moved to Costa Rica and they lived naked and they didn't take showers, and they got like a white girl that came, but the white girl had mental health issues and she ended up exposing the whole thing. And then they had to come back to America, but then they got kicked out. The plane had to land because they smelled so bad on the plane. It was a Spirit airplane. Then they moved to Atlanta around the corner. No, this is a true story. Then they moved to Atlanta around the corner from me, which I didn't know until I watched the online documentary. And Then I started doing research, and the creator of the Nature Boy Club actually was like a gay stripper, and then and who was also a hairstylist, who then became the owner of this big cult with his 12 wives. Bananas.
But he was
Bananas.
gay and with 12 wives.
He was not gay because biphobia is real and bi-erasure is more real. So he said that he was afflicted by like miseducation. Okay.
Okay.
But he got himself straightened out. Kenny, you really need to research.
I need to watch. It was in a documentary.
It is a series of people on YouTube. This was a big deal. He's the boy's name. His name is Nature Boy. You Google Nature Boy and it all comes up, and it is.
I'm looking.
It's the name. He's in jail right now in DeKalb County. He's in jail right now, and he's horrible. He's like horrible. I mean, if you think Diddy is bad, you think. I mean, this man is like he's it's horrible. So trigger warning to you guys out there, but I couldn't look away. Shit. I couldn't.
Oh, wait a minute. You ain't tell me he was black.
I said he was from Atlanta.
That don't mean that he's black.
Here's another. Isaiah said, "Fun fact: to murder from my hometown, successfully to Costa Rica to avoid trial." I want to, here's a sad fact: is that we have a lot of. We have an unfair number of cult leaders from Atlanta. There's also a whole thing called the Nuwaubian Nation that was from Atlanta that moved to like a place called Eaton, Georgia, that built like these pyramids. They built pyramids in Eaton, Georgia. It's crazy. Black people have done some crazy stuff in Atlanta.
Well, I believe it.
Oh my God. You can't go. Oh my God. I can't go to Australia in a couple of years. Jesus Christ, Lord save.
I'm not going over there. Everything in Australia kills you, so I'm not going over there.
Yeah, I mean, I see those big, strong kangaroos. I'm not going to do that. But with that being said, Kenny, I know you got to go eat. So Danny is there right now.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, it was his wife. Nature Boy, he married these girls. Nature Boy married these women, these girls. He's in jail and they're still together. So it wasn't just, it's men too. Nature Boy has men and women. So they were all his wives, but he also married the wives to other men. And they have children and somebody died. Like it's a lot. Like it's
I'm about to watch this thing.
A lot.
Look, I've already fallen into the rabbit hole. I'm watching something to watch.
We are going to definitely ensure that Kenny is not in the baby blue casket. So Kenny, while Danny is there, I hope that he stays for a good while. I hope you guys are going to enjoy Thanksgiving there together.
But no, we're going to Ohio to go see his folks.
But still, you guys will be together, which is good. Brian will be with me. I thought I was going to Puerto Rico, but because of Chris's new business opening last week with his soft launch, and it's been a little bit more volume of clients than he thought, he canceled it. So he's going to be here because it's just that's his side project, and we're no Puerto Rico, so we'll be here. So we'll be doing Thanksgiving at the house, but since you'll be in Ohio, I said Brian will be taken care of. Will the food be good? Probably not. We'll see.
I don't know. I will see. I don't know.
I'm not cooking. If I cook, the food will be good. And if the food tastes bad, I would. I'm the kind of person, it's got to be perfect. So I will cook, and if I mess something up, I'm throwing it out and starting it over. But here's the thing: I'm not cooking.
But who's doing food?
I'm paying somebody to do it.
You got a caterer.
Yeah.
All right. They better. I mean, they got a date. Is it the person who did the egg rolls?
No. It's like a Friendsgiving type thing for Thanksgiving. So it's just the people who are going to be in town, who aren't going home, or, be with their family. So we're all going to come together in the afternoon, like 5 o'clock. So even if you do have families, you still come over and hang out. We're going to play games and we're going to drink and, chill. But the food, like I said, I'm paying for the caterer to make turkey, mac and cheese, collard greens, yams, and a amaretto something, butter, some kind of butter pecan amaretto, I don't know, pie. And then I'm gonna order some turkey dressing, and then everybody else is gonna bring the other sides, and it'll just be whatever it is. But I don't really like Thanksgiving food like that anyway.
No, I love Thanksgiving food, but it's almost like soul food. You just add turkey to it. That's all.
It's like soul food with turkey, right? So, uh, yeah, that's gonna be that. So, all right, my friend, go eat. Have a good evening. Give Danny my love. We all say, please say hi to Danny. We all give him our love. And for anyone out there, we hope that you have an amazing holiday, however you celebrate. And actually, chillins are not too Southern. I think that's like old school Southern that didn't wasn't Southern, but is Southern. I know in my family, we didn't have chillins for Thanksgiving or any
I
holiday.
did
Not from
and do.
Mississippi. But all of my relatives that left Mississippi and moved to the north had them. It was a northern thing from people from the south. So I feel like it was like something they did in the south back in the day, but then like in my time growing up, it had kind of went away.
No, I eat chitlins. I'm gonna just go ahead and tell y'all, and this is disclaimer warning. I eat ass, so I'm eating chitlins.
I have never had ass that tastes like chitlins and hope that I never do. So I don't know what kind of ass you're eating, but dig in there. You get all in there and enjoy it. That is not what it tastes like over here. And yeah, no one's gonna, yeah, all that work. I'm not doing all that work. And listen, my house is gonna be immaculate. Like that's also a part of it. Like when people are coming to my house, I need my house clean. And so it's gonna be clean. I'm gonna go up. I started deep cleaning on Saturday, and then I have a whole piece of everything just being perfectly clean, and then the cleaning lady is gonna come and clean it on tomorrow afternoon. So I gotta make it right. So then it's just her going over, so it's just perfect because I don't like people coming to my house and this house is not clean.
Well, I want to see photos of the tree. I want to see the decorations. I want to see all of it.
None of that shit is getting done yet until Sunday. I thought, yeah, I'm not. I feel bad about that. Should I have
Y'all
the
doing
tree
a
still
late
up?
start. It's a late start. You're supposed to have been had the tree up.
So I don't put my tree up. Kenny, I don't put my own tree up. Listen,
who do you have come and put the tree up?
My friend Chauncey is a master decorator. Okay, so she's the same lady who decorates my parties and decorates all my events. Now, Chauncey, her name is Chauncey Coleman. Anyone can look her up. She does amazing work. We have been friends. We were teachers together. She was the ag science teacher. I was an English teacher. We've always been friends. We will always be friends. So this is what she does. So she's a master decorator. She comes every year and she decorates my house. I have a set amount of money. She takes it, she does it, and she does great work. So
what do y'all normally put on your tree?
Kenny, I'll send you the video. Like the trees, it's a nice big tree, it's plastic. And I have ornament. My tree is, don't you know the story? My tree is memories. The first year I put my tree up was the year my grandmother died in 2011. And my family, she died. Everyone, sadly, please stop, God, dies around my birthday. So my grandmother died the day before my birthday, 2011. And my family was so down at that Christmas, I convinced them to come to Atlanta. And that was their first time they came to Atlanta for Christmas. And they have come every year since. And so I had the tree put up for my family. And so I put up a bunch of nice filler ornaments at first. But I decided I was going to do 5 ornaments per year that represents the year in my life. So every year from 2011 forward, you got 5. So now the tree is only like personal ornaments, but it's 5 ornaments per year of my life that's representing the great things in my life. So from the first year I met Chris, so the new nieces and nephews to everything, like, every new job, everything. So the tree is full of memories. But I also decorate I decorate out, the outdoors gets decorated, the rails get decorated. I'll post a nice post on TikTok and share with the world. But I really do feel bad that it's not going to be decorated for Thanksgiving because she's not getting back into town until Sunday. So I thought about getting somebody else to put the decorations in because I'm not adding to the decorations. I already bought them. It's the same ones I used last year because they're good decorations. Mm-hmm. But I feel like nobody can do it like her, so why let somebody else do it? But then I feel bad to not have it up for Thanksgiving. So should I pay? Should I just get it done on Wednesday, or should I
I
wait?
mean, I don't know because if you want family to be there and it's gonna be like, I would recommend just trying to get it done soon. If you can do, if you feel
Well,
like you
my
can get it
family
done
it's
on,
gonna be done Sunday. It'll be done this Sunday. I'm just saying it won't be. My family isn't coming for Thanksgiving. My family, I celebrate Thanksgiving in Atlanta. They're gonna be in Mississippi. They come here for Christmas, but I'm gonna have friends here for Thanksgiving. So should I have it done for friends coming for Thanksgiving, or is it probably it's no big deal?
it's not necessarily a big deal, but it depends on if you're gonna film and take videos and stuff like that, because people are gonna feel real festive and stuff. But it's up to you. I say wait for Sunday, get it done the right way.
Yeah, I feel like I'm gonna wait till Sunday and I'm just gonna decorate the house like I always decorate the house with like flowers and stuff, but not really worried
Go,
about
this is what
like
you do.
Christmas.
Thanksgiving is all about, autumn and stuff like that. Go get you a rinky dink pumpkin, put it in the living room. There you go. Call it a day. That's your decoration.
Yeah, I may do that. Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do is let it be. But I'll post the highlights. Oh, I'll send that to you. I'm gonna let you see what it looks like every year. What the house looks like every year. But I do feel like I agree with you, Kitty. It's a late start. It's a late start. But Thanksgiving is a week earlier this year than it usually is.
That's true. But Mariah told us it's time on November 1st.
No,
So
I agree. I agree 100%. Okay, real quick, Kenny. Any special gifts? And also, everybody out there who's watching, like, help me out. I have to present tomorrow. I promised my TikTok community on Zach and the ATL that I would have their Christmas list finished. Like, I make an annual gifts I recommend. So I have a lot of stuff. But is there any great gifts out there that you're buying someone this year that you're like, this is a great gift?
that I have it. My go-to is always gift cards or candles. So I'm going to do something different this year because I'm feeling festive. I'm going to do something while we still have,
Kenny, don't
you
get
know,
nobody no gift card.
I'm not gonna get nobody no gift card. I'm gonna actually do something this Christmas, okay? Might have a little coin to squeeze. So I'm not gonna tell nothing, no things because Danny be watching these videos, child.
Well, I'm glad he's a real supporter. Listen, Kenny, if you're gonna buy a candle, I have a candle company for you. That's amazing. I
Hey,
do.
you
I have
tell me a
a
candle because I
wonderful. Oh, it's amazing. It's a black-owned candle company here in Atlanta. It's called Wendy Scents Candles. They're from Chicago. They live here in Atlanta. This lady has been a joy. She has supported. Ooh, she's been supporting me. I kicked the camera. She's been supporting me on social media like for a long time, and I always buy her candles. The candles are amazing and they last. And she just sent me like a special Christmas scent. I've never smelled anything like it. It's amazing. And I let Brian smell it when we were in the studio recording this weekend. So everyone smelled it. It was great. So I'm gonna send you that. I just said it's my recommendation. But I have some good stuff. I'll be sure. And I'll post it on Twitter too for all you guys to see it on Twitter because I know everybody's on TikTok, so I'll post it. So, all right, my friend. Good night, everybody, and happy holiday.
happy holidays, you guys.